Good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Dose. The Magic Man Mark Hutchins here, joined by Jereme Kleven.
Hey-o.
And the man behind the glass, Mr. Byron Filson.
Howdy.
Accompanied by the myth, the man,
the legend,
the listing messiah, Mr. Russell Shaw.
Hi, welcome back, Russ. It's a pleasure to have you here. I can't tell you how excited we are to have you here in the recording studio with us so early in the morning. But I'll tell you, I know you like to get up and start your day early because I'll tell you got to get up before noon if you're going to beat me. Okay, now
I got a chance. Have you been up all night?
No. I'm on a lot of coffee right now.
Yeah. All right. I like it.
He's got to drink a lot to get up this early.
So if we actually never said your name yesterday, but people are good readers. You know, people are good readers.
People, it won't matter.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you were at yesterday's class because he did make a mean panini for everybody at the lunch and learn. Yeah. It was just fantastic.
The things you do for us are just off the charts.
I had the chicken and pesto. Very good.
I love pesto, and I love to share it with my friends. So
that's fun. Well, let's dive into today, and let's talk. We were talking about prospecting, and I wanted to kind of go into what we see. First we were talking about first year agents. So agents been there for the first year, and when to turn on the faucet to do marketing. So when they have the dollars to do so, and you kind of
not just when they have the dollars, when they actually have
ready,
the knowledge
and not copying, right? So
that they've tested the message. You have two components. One is the medium, like how are you reaching them? And the other one is the message. The message or offer must be something that they think is worthwhile.
I agree.
So
on the prospecting front,
before you go, I mean, that's a great point for people to be thinking about too. I mean, it's not, you're probably, some people can be confused sometimes thinking that it is about the money. Can I afford it? Can I not? But we have so many channels or so many platforms for us to test that message right now. Social media and the likes of other things, friends. Yeah. I mean, so there's like I said, there's lots of ways for you to test the marketplace before rolling something out and you'll see people doing, doing those, types of things. Which one do you like better? Which piece do you like better? And maybe that's exactly what they're doing, kind of testing the waters a little bit before they put something out. So, but Mark,
you said something.
I wanted to talk about prospecting.
Yesterday, there was something you mentioned though about people, because if they don't have the money for geographic farming, which would take a year at least to get going.
Oh, for sure.
Now then, their options are what? Their options are to go around and get in communication with people. And you were mentioning that you recommend to people to, if they're having an open house, to go around to the neighbors and take maybe an RPR report or something.
Yeah, I was saying basically make the best of the open house, but part of the reaction that we get from some people is the fear of door knocking.
That's what I want to take up. That's what I want to talk about. So because you're colliding with the person started explaining, they don't want to do it because they're afraid to do it. Correct.
Yeah,
right. So let's take up what the right name for that is. And is something, I don't care how much money you ever have for marketing, you still have to overcome that first barrier because you're never going to get to the point of doing the marketing.
Right.
So you have an issue of surviving. And what is the name? What is the correct name for the deal where the guy won't knock on the door of the neighbors when he's holding an open house? It's stage fright.
I was going to say fear.
Yeah, fear, stage fright. He or she does, see, what is the opposite of stage fright? It would be stage presence. Well, what is stage presence? Well, let's take that up. Stage presence would be having the viewpoint that you have more of a right to be there than anybody else.
Yeah.
Now let's take that.
I like that.
How do you get to that? And that this is not you must practice for years. No, you just decide you have the right. That's it.
God, I love it.
You just decide you have the right. So what do you need to know to knock on the door and go, hi, I've got this special report I had prepared just especially for you. We're having an open house 3 doors down or a block over or whatever the hell. You just have to decide it's okay.
Because it is.
But I can say it is. You can say it is. But if the guy is sitting there going, it's not okay.
Right.
Me telling him it's okay doesn't change it.
Sure.
You're his broker.
Right.
And you can go, I own the company.
Right.
You can tell him it's okay. And he goes, you don't understand. No, I do understand.
Decide you have the right, and that's the hardest part a lot of the
That's
times,
it.
right? Making the decision.
It's no more complex than that. You just simply decide, I want the business. I want to be successful. The way to become successful, if you're going to run a business, if you did 10 deals and you want 20 deals a year, if you were doing 20 deals and you want 40, if you had 50, you want 100. Here's the secret. Here's the deal. You will then get twice as many customers. Well, how do you do that? You would make whatever you do to generate business, you would do twice as much of that. It's just that simple. And if the way you get business
Which takes work, right?
Randomly running into people, you better randomly run into twice or three times as many people.
Right, exactly.
You'd have to have some way of reaching them. And what if some guy goes, I don't want to sell my house. What if you lose?
Yeah, right.
You got nothing to lose.
Right.
What if in 3 months he gets transferred and you're the guy that he liked when you talked to him? That's the point. It's a nurture period even with sellers too.
Right. Always.
There's a nurture period with anybody. And I just love how simple you put it, because the first time I think you ever talked to the brokerage when you came to Fire Rock and you said, somebody in the crowd asked, Russell, what's your secret sauce? And you said, there is none. Right. You realtors complicate the shit out of everything, I think is exactly what you said. And which is in some circumstances true. And you also mentioned too the other day is there's all these agents that they do this, they do what's new, they try this, and you see them and they've tried 10, 15 things throughout the year, but they didn't focus on two or three things. Where Jereme and I have always talked about, find out what you're really good at, find out what's going to work and what right now isn't going to cost you a bunch of dollars. That's the most effective. Like to me, prospecting, open houses, door knocking, things of that nature for budget purposes. They're going to get so many more results after trying every new little widget or gadget that's out there.
Well, if you're prospecting, see, it's funny, but the easiest thing in the world to prospect toward is listings, even if you pretended that you were working a buyer. Like if you knocked on doors, just literally knocked on a door in an area where you wanted to make it your farm, when you had the money to start mailing, just start going to see them, and you knocked on the door and say, I'm the active agent here in this area. Do you know anyone that wants to buy or sell their house? No. Well, anyway, here's my card. If I found it, because I'm out there every day looking at stuff, if I find a really good deal, would you be interested in knowing about it? What's the cost to ask that question? The guy says, no, I have zero interest. Okay, great. But I mean, you could pick up buyers while you're looking for listings.
And
it's so true.
And if you went back and rewound that and used that exact script right there and did that 100 times.
You can always go back, guys, and listen to all these episodes. Just
people can control
rewind.
that. Like you said, you want to double your business. That's something right there that people can go out and do right now. They can decide that they are going to go out and do that and do more of it. You can control it, which is going to get you the results that you're trying to get.
And the thing that sometimes people get tricked on, I don't know, tricked isn't quite the right word, but let's say you go out and you make 25 in-person calls. Will that get you business? Yes, it absolutely will. No, it would absolutely. If you made 50 in-person calls, could I say without reservation you would get a deal or two from having done so? Minimum.
50 homes. Go to 50 homes.
Well, not homes, people.
People.
You
I'm sorry,
50 people
you get to talk to.
And gave them your card and asked for business. Could I say unequivocally there'd be at least 2 deals in there for having done so?
I would fully agree with you.
Now, here's the thing that most people will never take. They go, no, I did it. Well, first of all, there's two parts. One, what was the attitude you had that you did it with? That's one. And the other one, did you actually expect to knock on a door where the guy goes, thank God you're here. We do want to sell right now.
You're a realtor?
Yeah. We want to sell.
Oh my God, honey.
We want to sell right now. Or yes, I was hoping to buy a house this afternoon. The fact that the person, if you went on all those things, those calls, you called all those people, you went to see them, there is business there, but it's not necessarily that week's business.
Right.
But if you just go out and get in communication with people, the guy, like I have people every day, I get like in December, late November and early December, I'd say 90% of the people I talked to went like this. Look, I have some questions I want to ask you. Okay, I'll answer any question you have. All right, now look, we're not going to list until maybe late January or February. I said, that's okay. We'll be in business then. Well, yeah, but you understand, I'm not listing now. And I go, I do understand. You're not listing now. But you have a question now. Yes, but I don't want to take a lot of your time now. Take as much as you need because this is what I do for a living. So ask your question. Oh, really? Yes, really. Then they ask, maybe I'm on the phone 10 minutes and the guy goes at the end, oh God, thanks, Mr. Shaw. That was so nice of you. But I will absolutely be calling you, but not until February when they're ready to move. So you don't control when someone's ready to move.
Right.
We don't control that.
No.
Only got to get more opportunities, right?
I used a good example, Jereme and I one time. It was almost like a test when we were geographically farming Paradise Valley. Because, we went to Chaparral. We grew up kind of in the PV Scottsdale area.
You guys were Scottsdale snotty kids.
We were a little yes. Except
Thanks, Mark.
But we weren't actually. We were the guy, like Jereme, he was the guy selling blow pops in middle school to profit. We've always been entrepreneurs. So 20 years old. Yeah. So that's blow pops and what was it? The
heroin.
Heroin.
Jereme Kleven sold heroin.
Oh my goodness.
Lots of it.
Jereme Kleven was selling heroin to children. Go ahead.
Oh my goodness.
He wrapped them in the blow pops. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Very. It was. So, but
If it was anyone else but Russell Shaw saying that, we would make our first ever edit. Byron.
But we will not edit that.
We'll let that one roll.
Heroin and blow pops.
Yeah.
So we were.
Russell can do and say whatever he wants around here.
We hit about 2,000 homes in PV. I think on the second month we got a call. The McDonald property, Seven of the Mountain, nice lot. So this was just simply from being, now granted the content we were giving I think was a little more at the time. It was relative, like everybody wanted to know whose home was selling for what, this and that. It was very important to know that. Well, we caught them in a situation where they were from out of town and they were facilitating to sell their deceased mother. Now, terrible situation. However, if we were not in the place, who would they have chose? The three other people they interviewed. And we were one of four, and we won the listing and sold it for over $1 million. And I thought that was a great example, just as far as farming goes.
It's a perfect example.
Yeah, and all it was is we showed up. Yeah. We were in their face. We said the right things. We had the right attitude. But that could have, if we started the campaign 6 months before that, how long would it have taken? Another 6 months, right? So it was just
a tiny house.
Yeah, it was a tiny
on that one, right?
What could have came before that? So I tell everybody, like, well, man, it's been 5 months and no one's called anything. I'm like, well, yeah, man, it's a timing thing. So I would say it's timing. You're consistent, you're timing, and you said a great point. Like after you've been geographically farming, then you start showing up at their door, which then brings more.
You could do it the other way. You could just as easily
show up at their door.
Showing up at their door before. Let's say you don't have the money to do mailings. Let's just seriously, you don't have the money, or you're sitting there thinking, God, that would cost $1,000. And right now, coming out of the family budget, that's just too damn high.
Yeah.
So I get, fine, don't spend money you don't have. Like, seriously.
Right.
Don't spend money you don't have.
Of course.
But that doesn't mean you can't go out and make calls and meet people.
I fully agree.
It really doesn't mean that. And it doesn't cost a lot of money to run off some little reports of RPR. I mean, I wouldn't use RPR to find out what a house is worth. But
No. But just a handout.
Pictures.
That's something you can hand out.
It looks like you put a lot of work into it.
Yeah,
That's the
absolutely
idea. And that you're showing up, and most agents just don't.
Right.
That's what people need to understand, though. Again, is if you're not going to be a marketer, or eventually you aspire to be a geographical farmer, the whole nine yards. But it has to start with that prospecting. So what are those?
It starts with the willingness to reach toward business.
Right. You have to reach out. Right.
It's the reaching toward business. What
the
people
activities
fascinate themselves with. Well, what color doilies did you use? Did you use blue doilies or yellow doilies, or were you using Times or Arial font? Stop it. Just go call on some people, and whatever you look at what your options are from where you are and where you sit. So when you talk about doing something about getting more business, see if it's, well, if I had a better car, stop it.
That's
well,
bullshit.
If I had
That's
an
BS.
assistant, don't be an idiot. If I had new suits, stop it.
Excuses.
Everything from where you sit right now, from what you have, whatever car you're driving, it's the perfect car. Whatever clothes how much you weigh, how old you are, whatever the hell it is, that's the deal. Go see them.
Exactly. It's funny. I'm going to make a plug for Brian Keller, who came on. I think you've met Brian Keller before. A real sharp guy. Just love his prospecting mindset. So we were asking him, what did your first week of real estate look like? He goes, I didn't have anything, but I did an open house. We're like, well, how'd you do it? He's like, I round up a bunch of random signs. He's like, I had signs that didn't match.
No business cards.
No business cards. So he's like, I printed out 30 MLS sheets and I wrote my phone number with a magic marker on it. And what happened that day? He got a buyer that came in that he ended up showing property and ended up pulling like a $1.something million sale out of there. It was in PV. He was doing the open house, but who cares if it was a $300,000 deal? The point is everyone always is making excuses. You're saying, oh, excuse this, excuse that. The guy said, I'm doing it. I'm here. I am doing it. I showed up.
I don't need anything.
I'm working.
And I'm working. That is the thing, though. Like that example you gave with Brian, where I'm saying exactly the same thing.
Yep.
If there's any barrier, if you find the actual things that you could call a barrier that sit between a person and their goals are not actual circumstances in the physical universe, they all are in the nature of thought that the person has in their own universe,
head.
That they go, that's a solid, oh my, that's a real big, no. If you want to make that idea that you can't do it solid, you could create it that way. But the truth is, you go right back to that Brian Keller example. He didn't even have business cards.
Seriously.
Now that, I mean, how
awesome.
much you could take the most fundamental what do realtors have to have? He didn't even have that.
No. And
he didn't have
didn't.
matching signs. He didn't have anything. So if you were looking at the guy's stuff that would have given him the right to go do it, he didn't have any of it, but he decided it was important to him and he wanted the business.
He made the decision.
That's it.
I want to end on that today. Hey guys, boot camp, 10 o'clock today, by the way. If you haven't been to boot camp, please come. And this is come one, come all. Any agent, from any brokerage, please come. It's at the Scottsdale office. I teach it. I try to keep it right about an hour. I go through start to finish whole process. We go through everything, contract, Binzer, negotiations, timeframes, TRID, rescission periods, all that fun stuff. Guys, have a great day. Russell, you the man. We're going to see him tomorrow.
I'll be back.
We're all going to, I think we're going to do the usual. We're going to have a sleepover, I think.
Yeah, we're going to stay here in the room tonight.
So we are. Yes, together. So
naked, completely naked.
Yeah, my man.
That's right. Mark's going to see me naked.
I can't wait. All right, guys. Have a great day.
See you. Bye-bye.